This program is proudly brought to you by LateNightMedia.com for all your podcasting, comedy writing, and hot steaming pod needs. LateNightMedia.com.
Conscious wisdom, challenging our skeptical, critical thinking, digging deep into the dark and the light, and exploring the depths of our mind, body, and spirit. The podcast sprinkled with science, creativity, ageless wisdom, philosophy, and conspiracy. So be part of the discussion and get involved. Be part of the action of thinking and being the revolution. Be conscious with wisdom. Conscious wisdom, challenging our skeptical, critical thinking.
Episode 6, guys, I'm excited. We're back with you. It's the Conscious Wisdom podcast, and we're coming live out from West End today. We've got a massive show on this evening for you. Just remember, if you want to get the live stream, you're probably on there, but it's on YouTube. Go to latenightmedia.com/CWpod. All the links are there to Late Night Media, Facebook, Twitter, the meetup group, iTunes. If you want to catch us on the iTunes, we're now global. And of course, the live stream link is there. Now, today's episode it's a good one. We've got one of our favourites here. It's Steve Rowlison. How you going, man?
Hey, man. Good. Yourself?
Oh, good.
Great to be back.
Excellent. How did you go with the first episode? Did you hear yourself?
I did, yes. I now know what I sound like.
You now know what you sound like, and sometimes it's way too surprising. I know. It depends. Like, I always look at this. If you have a beard, do you sound a bit different? But I just have some sort of weird beard thing, and everyone who listens actually knows that. Okay, so what's been happening in the couple of weeks? I heard you went on a big trip somewhere. And
yeah, a bit up the coast, up to Inskip Point, Maryborough.
Oh, awesome! That's like a nice little shanty area, isn't it?
It is. It's very quiet. Very shanty. Yeah.
Very shanty. That's what we like.
Shanties and shanty.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Now, if you guys at home don't know Steve, Steve is a Freemason and he's a former Grand Librarian of the United Grand Lodge of Queensland, which is pretty cool. I like the Grand Librarian. It sounds very, I guess, grand.
Sounds expensive.
You're like you're at least the Mercedes Benz of the Grand Lodge, I'm thinking, and you're a long-time student and proponent of the works of Harold Baldwin Percival, and
got to read his books, Thinking Destiny.
1,000
pages. You can do it in a weekend.
Oh well, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just skim read it.
It's only if you want to know. Only if you want to know everything.
Okay, well, cool. I'll do that. Now, actually, you're a man to go on tonight's episode, which is our topic. So I didn't say is it's called Later Fishy. Aquarius got a brand new bag.
Tell me.
It's insights into the Zodiac and Astrology. So we've got a good one. So hopefully you'll give us some good stuff on that one, Steve.
Well, I can't tell you the future, but I'll do my best.
Excellent. And sitting next to Steve, we've got a newcomer to the Wisdom Podcast. It's Helen Edey.
Edey, yes.
Wonderful. Now, you're an astrologer.
Yes.
Excellent. So how did you get into the astrology field?
I think through, obviously, reading the horoscopes and thinking, what is this all about? And my sister was studying astrology, and so she would talk to me about it, and we'd have discussions. And she thought I would probably like it because I have she said, the brain capacity to understand all the numbers and the logic.
So you're like my partner, who's like this huge number. All I can say is like she's a number nerd.
Yeah, she loves her numbers.
Oh my God, Sarah Yip, go to sarah.yip.com, give her a plug. Why not?
Yeah.
She's amazing. And so you just would see numbers everywhere and in things.
Well, not so much the numbers, but I could understand things because she would struggle perhaps to understand perhaps the language, or she couldn't quite grasp it, but she thought I could grasp it a lot quicker than her, and I kind of could once I got my head around it. Obviously, what are they talking about? What is all this? And they work with degrees and things like that, so there is numbers involved on it. Yeah.
Okay, and you do tarot cards as well.
And I do tarot as well. Yeah.
Excellent. How do you like the tarot? What sort of tarot decks do you use as well?
I use I've got many tarot decks. It changes depending on my mood, I think, and I like the tarots because of the symbols on them. You know what I mean? Like, I like all the symbols.
They do have pretty pictures.
Yeah. And I think that's what it works with. I look at them and I think, oh, well, that's what's really going on here. It's not necessarily what's written in the book. So
Okay,
try and do
cool.
it intuitively, I guess.
I have a deck as well. I got the nice old Aleister Crowley deck.
Yeah, I've got that.
And
Yeah.
he's got some amazing art on that one.
Yeah.
And his system is a little bit different. He changes a couple of cards around. If you want,
Yes.
guys, check out the Book of Thoth. It's actually some quite nice reading. Don't worry about that. They call him the Beast. He's probably a really cuddly guy, but we don't know. We don't know. But awesome. So we're going to check out your insights and
Okay.
hopefully we can find out some cool stuff today. And Greg's back.
Hello.
Thank God,
Hey,
Greg's
Kris.
back. Excellent.
time.
How you been? Well, you're part of our staple. It'd feel a bit weird if you didn't come around and say hello.
That's right. Thanks, Kris. No, it's been good. Had a good couple of weeks since our last one.
Awesome. What's been happening?
Oh, my life. Just winding up our business.
Yeah, the Dandelion Gifts, great place to shop. Go in there, get some stuff. Give yourself a plug. What's the website? DandelionGifts.com.
That's it.
That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, no, and that'll end in West End at the end of November. And we're still at Eat Street Markets, and we're renovating our house, and we're about to plan a big trip away next year.
Awesome. That's what I like. Everyone needs to take a trip just to calm down, I think. If only some leaders would take less trips. Though, okay, well, let's not go into that because that's a whole kettle of fish. Okay, so our talk today is on the Zodiac and astrology. Now, like from what I know and from what I've researched within the Zodiac, it's way more like intelligent and awe-inspiring than most people think. Because I think that what happened through the past ages, it was massive and then got relegated to just like fantasy, blah blah blah, and then commercialized in a bit too much throughout the 80s. But when I did some research into a guy called Santos Bonacci, it really opened my eyes to like the reality of what this system was and where it was in the world. Now, Steve, you've done a bit of research. Where did you find a lot of your info from?
Well, like most people, I guess I studied books around the occult science, astrology, and in order to better understand myself when I was younger. But out of the works of Harold Warren Percival, who paints a picture that's very strongly based around the value or the significance of the zodiac, I guess I pulled most of my understanding from that basis.
Excellent. Now, from the understanding, it's more than just a system of planetary cycles. It seems that it kind of involves a lot of the systems of the bodies, like as above is below. It's that kind of
I
thing
can I can illustrate an example.
Yeah.
One example would be your face. So if you think of your mouth as the point of Libra, if you're thinking of the zodiac, so we'll put Libra down the bottom, mouth. Your nostrils, say your left nostril, Virgo, your right nostril, Scorpio, your left ear, Leo, your right ear, Sagittarius, and your eyes, Cancer on the left, and Capricorn on the right. So they're the primary senses in which we interpret the world. And then you could say that everything above that line, above your eyes, is what we don't see, which is essentially represented by our cranium, the unmanifested universe.
Okay.
Okay, so
What's
I'm making
the
a horizontal
unmanifested
line just
universe?
above your eyes.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm showing you 7 portals. Your eyes, your ears, your nostrils, and your mouth as the main entrance. So that's one example. And of course there are another number of other, if you look into astrology, you'll see it represented in other areas of the body as well. So you put Aries at your head and perhaps you put Libra at your feet. It already, that's not my space, but there are a number of representations of that. When you analyse and look at how those 12 points relate to practically not just your body, but everything in the universe, and can be seen in a number of different ways, depending on which way you're looking.
Okay, wow,
Yeah.
that's really insightful. Now, how does that reflect with your stuff?
Well, that's kind of similar. Like, and this is an area that I do have to study more on, but like it is kind of in our body, like you're saying, where the certain signs are in our body and that kind of thing. So yeah, like Pisces is, I think, the feet and that. Yeah.
Right, feet,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, have you guys
feet.
heard of anything called Adam Kadmon?
No, tell me more.
Adam Kadmon. Well, this is another system from Santos that I got from Santos, and it kind of reflects where all the actual constellations are in relation to your body. Like from what we've got, Taurus is around the neck. The head is or is Aries.
Aries, consciousness.
Consciousness. Gemini is lung, hands, or arms.
Yeah.
We've got Cancer, which is the breast. Leo is the heart, and vice versa. Like where all these things line up in relation to the zodiac. So it sounds very similar.
Well, yeah.
sort of
It's a really
systems.
old symbol. So I mean, it's been around for hundreds of thousands of years, give or take a few million. So the symbol, we've applied animals to it in order to remember what those points are about. Some of the symbols themselves are more obvious than others. Like Libra's pretty easy. It sort of gives us a very good view of duality, right? And it just seems to be a living symbol that's not lost, even though it may have been commercialized, like you said. It's still significant. We can apply a psychological or a grammatical description to our lives if we wanted to, and characterize it in those terms. We can relate it in terms of the date of our birth, and also how that might vary with other people and their
So
dates
it's a bit
birth.
of numerology you can put in there as well.
Yeah, well, I guess the zodiac in some ways describes geometry as a science. Okay, so it's a circle with 12 points, and they're divisible into degrees and angles. And wherever we look, we can see angles, surfaces. They can be described through the zodiac as well.